13 threads per inch at that size is pretty common. Okay. So yeah, 7 turns would be pretty close to ½ inch.
How does he know this stuff? Because I cannot remember who the Spice Girls are. Don't fill your brain with useless information.
Wait a minute.
What are the Spice Girls?
Oh, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Hey guys, this is Chris and Roy. You may remember me from such films on your channel as the Terraflex lift for Ruby. 2 years ago. Well, now this is my latest project. This is the 2020 Gladiator that has a lot of mods already on it, and we're here today going to improve one section, which is on the drive shaft at full extension. We found out that the yokes were rubbing, and I actually had a yoke explosion on the freeway at one point. So we are going to get on the lift and take a look at the pinion angle and adjust the control arms to see if we can reduce that angle so we don't have any kind of rubbing at full flex. Hopefully that does what we're looking for today.
Yeah. So why did you pick this one?
I mean, so this 2020 was built basically, I think, for King of the Hammers, and then it was time for a different project for that builder. So he and I became friends, and this is now mine. This is the Beast. She is a 2020 on 1 tons 40s with a 6.4 Hemi swap. So
done by.
Do it.
Done by.
Oh, but it's an America's Most Wanted Hemi swap.
Yeah.
Yep, with King shocks, Curry one ton extremes, and a whole bunch of other really fun mods. In fact, I really love my Super Pacific camper there with the rooftop tent too. So changes the camping game also. Yeah. So we're here to see what kind of damage we can do.
That's fantastic.
And now, I'm gonna get down.
He's gonna get down with his bad self. I'm recording this for insurance purposes.
Thank you.
I'm getting your best angle too.
Dang it, no life insurance this week.
That's all right.
We'll figure out when I can collect on that later.
Here is the core of the problem right here. It's drive shaft angles. We have a single cardan U-joint on either end. We don't have a double cardan, which does affect exactly how we're going to set this up. And it's kind of hard to see, and our angle finder isn't really going to show it very well. But this pinion is actually pointing down a little bit too much, and what we need to do is rotate it up a little bit. And what this is causing is that at full droop, it actually ends up pointing down even further because of the short upper control arms and the long lower control arms. When you articulate, it actually points the pinion down, and what is happening is this angle is getting too severe, and so you have the differential and the drive shaft, and as it comes down, your drive shaft angle does that, and that ends up causing actually hitting between the drive shaft yoke and the pinion yoke, and that's what blows up yokes on the freeway. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the length of the control arms and bring the pinion angle up a little bit so that when we droop we don't contact. Okay.
We're working on a black truck on concrete in a dark barn.
It's perfect.
That's pointing 2.5 degrees down right now.
Really?
Yeah.
And you want
at right height.
So where do you want it?
Well, it depends on the angle coming out of the transfer case.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so when you have a single cardan U-joint, and a cardan is basically a single U-joint, when you have one like this on either end, you want the pinion angle and the transfer case angle to be basically the same. And so what Kenneth is trying to do is figure out exactly what the angle is on the transfer case so that we can figure out how to match it.
Okay. So what I've got here is one of these digital angle finders, and I'm setting it up across the caps
on the yoke on the transfer case side. And these don't give you a true like level, but they will allow us to get a reference point. And so I'm setting this up to be a 0 across the caps on the transfer case side. Now if I hand this to Roy,
Okay.
and the problem is your cap is not quite where we want it
Right, because we have a phasing problem
on the,
on the assembly.
so we need to,
But I have a flat spot. It's probably
That you
a
think
gusset right here, which is also
parallel to the pinion.
parallel to the pinion. So I'm going to put it on this side.
And that should give you a reading of,
6.3.
so we are 6 degrees out of phase. So we probably want to raise the pinions about 6 degrees.
Yep. And that should do it.
Famous last words.
Always.
So what I'm doing here is I'm measuring, and just a rough guess, I've got about 19 inches to the center of the tire, and then 19.5 to 20 inches to this fender flare. And so I'm just getting a sense of where this rides in relation to the fender, because if we, as we're adjusting this, we're adjusting the length of the control arms, and what that will do is actually slightly move the axle forward or backwards. And I just wanted to see, okay, which way do I want to do that? So I know we need to be a little bit forward, because as you know, the control arm right now is kind of at this angle, and so as it comes up, it will push the axle, as we stuff, it'll push the axle back a little bit. And so we just have to figure out, okay, exactly how we want to approach this. Do we want to do a measured approach where we adjust half of it with the upper and half with the lower, or do we just want to do the upper or the lower? So just doing a couple of measurements to guesstimate exactly what we want to do.
Now watching the wheel, you're moving forward.
Now you're off the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so this really highlights the root of the problem. The way the suspension on this truck is set up, that as the suspension actually droops, we're finding that the pinion comes down. It actually dives. So not only is the drive shaft angle becoming more severe because the drive shaft is further down, but the pinion's actually rotating in the wrong direction. And we end up with contact inside the U-joint itself up here at the top.
So it's not quite there yet, but it's real close.
And so this is what we're actually needing to resolve, because that actually creates a physical stress inside the joint.
And blows up U-joints and cracks knuckle, or cracks yokes, and
Causes
things to explode on the highway.
catastrophic failures. So what we need to do again is just to rotate the rear axle, and we're going to do it by adjusting these upper control arms, making them a little bit longer, which will rotate it up. Yeah, we usually have like 3 or 4. Yeah, there's a hole here.
Okay. You got it?
I got a nice theory.
Might work.
Flash approves.
Everybody out from underneath it in case something does move.
Yep.
Oh. So we don't want exactly 6
No,
degrees
but we
of
want to
difference.
get 6-ish.
Well, just using the little tools today.
Do we drop it from the axle? Do we drop it from the frame side to adjust? I'm actually thinking it might be easier to do it with it on the frame side.
They're probably going to be totally in my way for any videoing. And they're working on the other side.
So yeah, it's
Upper control arm, lower control arm. They're taking it out on this side, taking it out, spinning the control arm, and then they'll reattach it.
Like he's gonna slip
And
and knock my teeth out?
It's good and snug.
Yeah.
So it'll pop on you because you're also putting some of the force and it's being absorbed by the rubber bushings.
Yeah, I can watch that. See it moving there. You're 100% sure that's the right direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it goes. See how it popped on you?
Yeah. So is there a phobia name for being under a vehicle that's in the air?
Common sense.
That makes me feel better.
Falling truckophobia?
You say that, your cameraman is stuck way in the wheel well here.
You all are
There. Give you a little better
beasts.
room. And you don't have to get it too many turns
Okay.
because we're going longer.
I'm almost at just one full
Yeah.
rotation. So
Okay. Yeah, that's good. The only thing that jam nut does is just keeps the joint from turning once it's all installed together.
Yep.
So it's a big nut because it's a big, strong shaft that it's holding down. But yeah, it's not doing a lot of work.
Okay. Outside is a 21, inside something bigger.
That's not uncommon on aftermarket bolts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I felt that.
Yeah.
As the weight shifts.
And that's why you only do one at a time. And stay clear,
Yeah.
just in case.
Just in case something decides to move.
Okay.
There's your bolt.
That's another.
So 3 full turns and
Up into the frame, or
the whole pretty much lines up.
Yeah, really nicely.
Give me a bolt.
Kenneth, he was saying 3 turns over here.
Really? That's all.
Is the washer on the...
We gotta straighten out this Johnny joint, so can you hold this, Chris? And this is how you straighten out Johnny joints when they're outside the vehicle. Okay, just had something to push against. Yeah, that's about it. That's all you need. Okay, so 3 full turns. Okay, so 4 full turns. Yeah. Still needs
5 full turns?
5 full turns.
6 full turns.
6 full turns.
That's sounding more like what I was expecting. 3 was not really big enough in the
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm using my finger to see where it lines up. But we're getting to the point where we're interfering on the bracket. So you'll have to come over here and see where it's hitting as I'm taking this in and out.
Oh,
Yeah.
Meaning, yeah, I see what you're gonna get. The thing at the end.
Yeah.
That's so technical.
Yeah, it's the thingy in the whoozy what's it with the whatchamacallit.
Hazy at the
machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the 2 spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panometric fam.
Yeah, this is just a game of adjust and tweak and adjust and tweak. What are we at?
We're at 6.
7 full turns. Catch. Catch. too much. 6 full turns. That's not gonna work.
Wouldn't you want the zerk to be pointed
You
down?
want seven turns?
I'm putting it back in exactly where it was.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Zerk up is good.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Not that it really matters not too much on the
I need a hammer.
hammer.
Could be a
Hammer or mallet?
mallet, something.
Mallet.
I'll start with Jenna.
There we go. Okay. That's feeling closer.
Okay, that was 6 turns.
7.
Seven full
7?
turns.
I thought you backed it off one.
And then I applied another
I'll
turn.
Put it back on.
Okay.
Because I was
7.
what I was trying to do is sink it in a little bit and see if I could push it up to spin it up top, but there's even less room up that way.
Agreed.
So
Okay, so 7 turns.
7 full turns.
Okay. I'm watching the Zerk. There's 1. Seven. 7 full turns. Now, oh. Oh, so close. We're there.
Nut.
Nut. So that is in. The other is in. 7 turns adjusted.
You can see how much more thread is exposed.
You can definitely see that, yeah, we've made this longer, which is what we were trying to do.
About an inch.
And so, yeah, actually, probably about a ½ inch. 13 threads per inch at that size is pretty common.
Okay.
So, yeah, 7 turns would be pretty close to ½ inch.
How does he know this stuff?
Because I cannot remember who the Spice Girls are.
Don't fill your brain with useless information.
Wait a minute.
What are the Spice Girls?
Okay.
Oh, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Let's go ahead and have you fix the T case, or unlock the T case first. Okay. As we started this project, and the whole reason for doing this was because we were running into contact issues with the yoke and this joint. We've made an adjustment. We're at full droop, and the way the suspension is working, as this comes down, the pinion is dropping, and this angle is becoming more severe. What we're trying to ensure with all of the work that we're doing is that we've resolved the contact with this yoke. So we're at full droop. We're going to rotate and see that we have a good, healthy gap between the yoke and the U-bolts, and between the ends of the yoke and the yoke here. So we've resolved the contact issue. So come on down. So this is looking good to me. I'm happy with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it's spinning nicely.
Now, just to call it out, it's not 100% full droop. We did ratchet those up a little bit, but it's gap's big enough, not a concern.
Yeah.
Well,
No? Okay.
it's gonna need to come down a little bit here to get these, because I think we'll double check it once we get the bolts in. The spacer.
Almost. Yep, come on.
Yeah.
And we're taking them off entirely?
Yep. Because it's all fully supported at this point.
And the idea is just to now we'll double check again.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we've still got a good gap. here at the top as this cycles over each time. So
Okay.
we're in good shape there.
We do want to rephase this drive shaft,
Yeah.
and it's going to be easier right here.
Right now, yep. I was having the same thought.
So tell me about phasing, Kenneth.
So, drive shaft phasing is talking about the relationship of this joint and its orientation to the orientation of the joint that's up there. And you want them to be in the same phase, meaning you want them in the same place,
You want them lined up to each other.
lined up to each other,
I saw that.
so that it'll, because otherwise if you get them out of phase, you've got a behavior with the actual speed at which the joints are traveling that will create a vibration. Because these joints as they spin, actually speed up and slow down slightly. And if they're out of phase, you get that speed up and slow down happening at different points in the cycle at each end of the drive shaft, and it'll actually create kind of a surging motion. You get them co-phased, and then they're speeding up and slowing down together.
Co-phase. Listen to you, Mr. Engineer. Yeah, when you get them lined up, the vibration cancels out.
Yeah.
All that means.
And there's some really good YouTube videos out there that talk to this and what it is, and it's actually interesting if you're into that kind of stuff.
So how do we fix phase? How are we going to do this?
Okay.
What's the plan?
On this shaft, what we're going to do is we're going to take the floor nuts here off, take this U-joint apart, slide the yoke off, and rotate the yoke to be in the correct orientation relative to the yoke at the other end.
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably not quite as tight as they could have been, but that's okay. We'll put some Loctite on them. And actually, they've got lock nuts, but
So,
Well, lock washers.
lock washers.
Chris, this was the first time you've ever done anything with the yoke, right?
Yeah, actually no, technically no. I had a YJ back in high school that I tried to replace the U-joint and had to get it towed out of my garage.
That's first timer syndrome, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. I learned not to touch things unless you're with smarter people.
And you chose these two?
Well, beggars can't
Well,
be choosers.
smarter is a relative term.
That is true. I didn't know anything about the phase. I had never heard of that before, so
it's
we're
not-
all learning.
It's not something you think of until you get a weird vibration, and then some engineer tells you, hey, you got to do all this for these reasons, and you're like, all you have to really remember is just line them up.
I thought
yeah.
good vibrations gave you excitations.
Good vibrations.
Good vibrations.
This is a bad vibration.
You can't take that out at the single, can you? We got to watch out for that U-joint cap dropping at the bottom, right?
Yes.
That's why his
How
thumbs
did that
are.
happen to me today?
That's why his thumbs are where they are.
Catch. Okay, now I need a light up there.
Is that good enough?
And so I want this basically there. So I want the ears on the drive shaft to be horizontal over there. The drive shaft side.
Yep.
Okay.
You're not perfect. Now it's turning.
Yeah, because he's turning as he's moving.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to take this off.
And Chris, can you hold the weight of the shaft? That way Kenneth can focus a little more.
The idea is to get this into basically a horizontal.
And double check the horizontal up there at the other
Am
end.
I still horizontal?
That's perfect. So I don't know if that's one spline or not.
Yeah, it's probably one spline. So like right there?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let me put this back in.
Where would a third hand help?
There it is. Okay. And just manage to not drop it.
Not dropping is good.
Yeah. not landing on anybody's head
Or teeth.
or teeth.
Not that you would have dropped anything on somebody's face this morning.
Or in the lip, or...
Yeah, there was a minor tool incident this morning.
Oof.
Yeah, working on a different Gladiator.
Yeah.
Somebody leave with a fat lip?
Tried to.
Not really.
Okay.
It didn't drop very far.
Okay.
And it hit me in a non-vital spot, my head.
So, Chris, you came today saying you had a vibration.
Slight vibration, yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
could be exactly it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Worth a try.
Blue Loctite.
Blue, because you want to take it apart to maintain it later.
Yes.
Red, if you want it to never come apart again without a torch.
Jamming the alignment punch into the...
Just get myself
Point.
a lever that I can pull against.
Yep. He needs a big screwdriver, too.
And when you're tightening these, do just a little bit at a time on each nut and rotate around and do all the nuts together. You don't want to crank one nut down and then go to the next nut.
Yeah.
I think Kenneth is demonstrating that here admirably.
Looks like you're doing
Yeah.
maybe not even an
I was
eighth.
gonna say this is actually a nice application that you can actually get to all 4 nuts and not have to fight with it.
Well, and it's only because we're up on a lift and it's fully drooped.
And they reserved it. Just cleaning up a little mess. Making it a pretty beast.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I
Okay.
level.
Come back over here on the cap. 2.9.
So we could have adjusted even more. Or we over-adjusted.
No, we could have gone up just a little bit more.
Okay.
We actually could have gone up another couple of degrees.
Yeah,
Yes. I'm going to argue that we're probably
that'd be
close enough given the tooling that we have to work with. Time to tighten some bolts.
The spec off.
You can find the specs for these nuts faster.
Go.
Which one are you looking for?
Upper rear control arm torque back.
See, I just handicapped you because you were busy answering while Roy was still searching.
I see how the game's played.
Hold that tight.
And yet you still won.
Well, he had a head start.
200 foot-pounds, huh?
Yes. And remember, it's Chris's Jeep, and he's right here.
I don't even weigh that much.
Yeah, but you're younger than us and stronger than us.
Debatable.
So yeah, just measuring the after effects here at right height. It's like the center of the axle moved back maybe 3/8 to a half an inch. Still the same overall measurement, but yeah, the tire did move back. Yeah,
Well,
little bit.
this has been tightened up here.
Here, let me lend an assist here and just. Okay, go slow.
Yep.
Go slow. Okay.
Pop my back.
Makes sense.
There we go.
Yep. Just start spinning this with the smaller pressure wrench.
Yeah.
Just want to snug up the jam nut so that the threads aren't all that's holding things in place. So.
Be a good guest. Help clean up.
Okay, double check. We took the shocks out, we retorqued the shocks, yes?
Yes.
We retorqued the upper controllers, yes?
Yes.
We tightened down the jam nuts, yes? Yes.
Yes.
I did that. What else did we take apart?
Drive shaft.
Drive shaft.
You took the yoke out, put the yoke
the
back together.
And
With
you-
Loctite.
With Loctite.
And the nuts tightened up with Loctite.
And
Okay.
greased it.
Anything else we took apart that we need to check first?
Didn't touch the front of the drive shaft.
Didn't.
Nothing else on the axle.
I think we.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Okay. All right, we picked up all the lights. We don't have a light sitting under the Jeep.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, I think we're good. Time for test drive.
Time for a test drive.